All right, y'all. The market was moving last night. So, pretty much yesterday evening, we came down, and this might have been in our session, right? It might have been in New York session. I think this was towards power hour. Price came down here, tapped into this 2 hour demand that we had. Um, the 2 hour that had all these nested demands inside of 1 hour and a 30 minute, and it just erupted from there. There was some news yesterday about a federal court blocking Trump's tariffs, or basically saying that they were unlawful. So this could have fueled this rally right here. But either way, it came up on a lower time frame. It did reject a little bit here at this 6 hour supply, but it was just some super quick rejections before it just pushed all the way through. But it came back up to this 2 hour supply, and as you can see, it chopped around between this 2 hour and the top of this 4 hour. For the rest of the evening until it finally rejected, and we are pushing down right now. So if you look here, I'm going to remove these levels. But as you can, before I chart for today, but as you can see here, I had this key level here. I had this key level here that we needed to reclaim in order to get a higher high, and they did just that. So if they're going to keep this bull run going, they can't come too far. Yo, my husband is sneezing like 7 times. It's driving me up the wall. Sorry if y'all can hear that. But they can't come too much lower. We'll see what it needs to be when I chart today. All right, 1 second. Y'all have like weird stuff that drives y'all crazy. For me, it's sneezing. Like people sneezing a bunch of times. Like I really can't stand it. And I know that's like normal. Like sneezing is natural, but I hate it. Anyway, so let's go ahead and remove all these things. And this is where, yes, I remove okay, so this level here, we're going to remove it because it's been fully broken through. This level is invalid. Okay. So we're going to remove these. But then this level, technically, it's not invalid anymore because it hasn't been broken. Price respected it. So I remove them. I remove levels like this because I just want to trade fresh zones only. But if you are someone that wants to keep the levels there and see how price reacts in the future, you can just change this from like 2 hour supply. You can add a note here that says like tested one time, or you can change it to support and resistance like they do in Octavia's group. That's how Octavia and Tria trade. So I'm going to just completely remove it and go to the 12 hour to start charting. Okay. And I still have my trend lines here. I talked about trend lines yesterday in office hours. Okay. All right, cool. So looking at the 12 hour, we have a couple of levels here. Here's one 12 hour at 59.2850. And I'm just going to mark the level. So this is my supply demand zone, right, where we had an balancing candle and then a big imbalancing move. So I marked the level at the open of the smaller opposite color candle that came before it. And then I'm going to mark the zone here. We have another level right here that coincides with the bottom of this zone. So I will mark that also. D89. Okay, 12 hour demand. All right, this is below. I'm not going to mark any levels above this because I already have levels here, right? I have these levels from the past, right? Looking back. And so these are our most recent untouched supply zones above us. So on the 12 hour, I'm not going to have anything above this candle. I might have some other zones in between here because price is currently sitting right here. So I might have some other zones in between on smaller time frames, but not on the 12 hour. All right, let's zoom in on the 6. And if you see all this stuff on my chart and you don't have all these zones on your chart, as you can see, I leave the zones here until they've been tested. So if we, for instance, if we never come down to test this zone and price just continues up, then this zone will just stay here. I'm not going to delete it until it's tested. All right, 6 hour zone. I'm not going to mark this one because we've got two 12 hours right below it. So I'm going to leave that one there. 4 hour. Okay, nothing new here. Here was a little zone that already triggered. So if you look, right, here's a demand zone here that would have, I would have marked here at the open of this red candle. If you follow the white line already all the way over, you see it triggered already, right? It came down, bounced into the zone and bounced right up. Okay, so nothing new on the 4 hour. Let's go to the 2 hour. I'm going to remove the 3 hour from my list. I'm going to take it off now. Let me see, because I just don't use it anymore. Delete. And I don't use the 90 minute anymore. Okay. All right. So looking at the 2 hour, anything new here? Same deal, 2 hour zone triggered. Okay. I'm not going to mark this one. This one, because this green body doesn't fully engulf that red body, I'm just going to leave that one alone. And down to the 1 hour. This is why I haven't, yes, I do have a million time frames up here that I check every day, but it's not, it's not difficult to do. You just go through it. And as you can see, I haven't had a level on the 6, on the 4, on the 2. So like if I was only checking those levels only, I wouldn't have any, those time frames only, I wouldn't have anything to go off of. So that's why I check them all to make sure I have enough. Okay, so here's a 1 hour level all the way down here at the bottom of this 12 hour zone. So I'm not going to mark it. I'm going to see if we have, let me mark it. I'll see if we have a 30-minute zone, because this could be, remember, whenever you have wide zones like this one, you always want to look for nested zones inside. 58, 91, 75. 1 hour. But this one is so far toward the bottom, I'm not sure how reliable it'll be. Okay, 30-minute. Little teeny itty bitty. Now, when I see something like this, right? On the 30-minute, you don't want to use candles like this as supply and demand zones. The reason why is because we want to see the supply and demand come out of consolidation. We want to see a big break out of like a period of consolidation. And this one, like this one candle here, it's kind of just like the market taking a breather. Like it's blowing down and then it's going like, okay, let me take a rest so I can blow down again, like that. So this one is not really a good indicator of a strong level. So I'm not gonna mark these. This one is kind of just the market taking a breather as it's coming down. So if you see something like this on a higher time frame, like the 4 hour or the 6 hour, that's fine, because you got to remember it took this candle 4 hours to form, 6 hours to form. That means it was chopping around in this little area for 4 hours or 6 hours. But 30 minutes, it was only been chopping around for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? That's not a really like solid consolidation to use. Again, another little doji demand here. I'm gonna go ahead and I usually don't trade doji demand, so I'm just gonna mark it so I know where it is. 59.23.50. Okay, and so that is it for today. We're looking at this big, we got a 12 hour, 30-minute, 1 hour, and another 12 hour below. Looking at this big little group of demands here. Let me check for key levels now. I do that on the 5-minute. And on the 5-minute, the only key level that I see, let me zoom into this area. The only key level I see here is at the bottom of this 12-hour demand. Okay, this tall wick right here. Now, this area that you see here, it is offering a lot of resistance, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for key levels. I'm looking for really tall wicks that are signs of strong bounces or strong rejections. Now, let me kind of come back and look at where we are overall. All right, so yesterday we were talking about in office hours like higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And so this right here is what we needed to reclaim in order to make our next higher high. And as you can see, they've done that. Bulls have done that. So they still need to be looking. I don't know, we can't predict what's going to happen now, right? Are we going to chop around and consolidate a little bit? Maybe. Are we going to continue to go higher and make our next higher high? Maybe. Are we going to come down a little bit and try to make a higher low? This is just keep an eye on the market structure around here to try to determine the direction of the market. All right, so let me go down to the 30-minute. That is, oh, you know what? Let me actually look. I haven't checked the daily or the weekly in a while. Okay, we have a daily demand down here, 58.70. What's this from yesterday? 529. Daily supply at 59. Another daily demand at 59.40. Let me kind of run back and see what we got going on. Okay, let me go to weekly. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and post this, and I will see you guys in a little bit.